It is Mailbag Day, ladies and gentlemen, on Chicago Bears Central. And you already know we're going to get into some real spicy. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the recent signing of Case Keenum and what he will bring to the Chicago Bears quarterback room. Plus, we get into the best part of the episode, the mailbag. But before we jump into it, you already know you got to hear the music first.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears. I'm your host, Ted Bobby, joined by my host, C-Dub. What's the word, big dog?
What up, man? Let's get it, man. Let's talk these
Man,
Bears, man.
if y'all tuned in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell. You know the draft is right around the corner. And what better way to come and kick it with the fellas on NFL draft night to see what the Bears gonna do. But on today's topic, C-Dub, just a couple days ago, the Chicago Bears, they signed veteran quarterback Case Keenum to a 1-year deal. And y'all know I was one of the guys that was like, hey, go get Teddy Bridgewater, but I ain't even mad at this at all. I actually love this signing for the Chicago Bears. But C-Dub, the question on today's episode is, what do you think Case Keenum will bring to the Chicago Bears quarterback room?
What I think, shout out to Case Keenum, though. He had his most, I'm going to call it his prime, his career between the years of 2016 to 2019. He had a year where he led the Minnesota Vikings to a playoff appearance where they lost in like the second round, I think it was. Case Keenum, man, 11 years experience. That's what he's going to bring to Caleb Williams. It's experience out there on the field. He's been in numerous situations in big games. Caleb Williams will need that experience. Caleb Williams also can draw leadership skills from Case Keenum. There's not a quarterback in this league that's been in this league 11 years that doesn't know how to lead. I don't care if they're second string or first string. If you're a quarterback and then you in this league more than 10 years, you know how to stay in the league. So therefore, you are a leader to some of these young first year, second year, third year quarterbacks. Also, on any given play, the experience that he has, he can give him the ins and outs of a play. See what tell Caleb what he sees out there. So it's a lot of benefits to having a 37-year-old backup quarterback who's been through a lot of trials and tribulations. Caleb Williams last year didn't have that. Shout out to Tyson Bagent. He's a great young prospect, but he's trying to learn himself. Caleb Williams need this guy, Case Keenum, and this is a great hire, great pickup by Ryan Poles in the front office.
For real, it seemed like after last season, we like, hey, bro, you got to address the offensive line a little bit more. Hey, bro, you still want Caleb Williams to be in the quarterback room with Tyson Bagent. We had Brett Rippett on our team, and they let him go. We was like, I know Brett Rippett is not, one of those names that but we was like, this guy got like 4-5 years in the league. That's some experience that could be useful for your young rookie quarterback. They elected to go in another direction. And I say this season probably was that gut punch that Ryan Poles needed, because you've been doing all the right things this offseason. Now we just got to see it on the field. But when it comes to Case Keenum, I love everything that you said, especially when you talk about the leadership aspect. And I'm talking about a guy that can come out there and not only help you mentally prepare for games, but also be able to come in and be like, hey, this is the way you need to approach this drive right now. This is how you should be approaching this type of situation. C-Dub, Case Keenum, You talked about that playoff. He took the Minnesota Vikings to the NFC Championship game that season.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
2017. But I like that Case Keenum is now on the Chicago Bears. Sorry, y'all. Definitely just did a live last night for the Bulls. But C-Dub, just let me know if I'm going too far. Y'all in the chat, let me know if I'm going too far. Or y'all got to talk me back down to being even keel. But C-Dub, I got a few examples of Case Keenum being a part of an organization, not necessarily being a starter, but as a backup to a young quarterback, and they having success. In 2020, his first year with Cleveland, Baker Mayfield was the starter. The Cleveland Browns made the playoffs. In 2022, Josh Allen was in the league for some years, but the Buffalo Bills made the playoffs. In 2023, CJ Stroud rookie season, they made the playoffs. All right, I'm gonna come back down. I felt myself getting too overzealous. I'm gonna come back down, but I'm just saying all this to say, I think that this guy right here is a guy that is a voice that's needed in the locker room simply because I don't think that we had the right people surrounding Caleb Williams, because we know that Matt Eberflus was take care of the football. Don't take that many chances. Just take care of the football. He wanted to play that old school style. And I think that Ben Johnson, along with guys like JT Barrett and Declan Doyle, and now a Case Keenum, are good football voices that are going to be placed around Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Before I let you go, C-Dub, Ben Johnson pretty much said, we don't want too many voices in his head. We gonna limit that for him. And that was one of the greatest things Ben Johnson has said over this offseason.
He's been very attentive and very nuanced in how he's going about Caleb Williams. And I appreciate that, because I don't believe that Caleb Williams was put in the best position last year. They have really gave Caleb Williams assets that should support him and propel him to be a better quarterback. I think he had a terrific rookie season. They're looking to make him an all-world quarterback. Good job from Ben Johnson. Case Keenum is, like you said, and I said, he's going to be a great football voice for Caleb Williams to proceed in this NFL. And I don't know if the progression would have been as good as a progression with a guy like Case Keenum if you got a guy like Tyson Bagent behind him. I know I'll keep bringing up Tyson Bagent name into this, like, what does he got to do with it? Because he's going to learn too from Case Keenum. That's another benefit from Case Keenum. Tyson Bagent and Austin Reed, they can learn from Case Keenum too.
Bro, my man has even brought up the practice squad QB. I ain't mad at it. Look at C-Dub bringing up old names, because I definitely forgot about him. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, hold on, who? Oh yeah, name. Buddy that was up at Hard Knocks during the honeymoon phase.
You talking about Scrappy Doo? Hey, Austin Reed is Scrappy Doo. Hey,
he talking about Scrappy Doo. For real. But hey, y'all let us know y'all thoughts and everything down below. What do you think Case Keenum will bring to the Chicago Bears quarterback room? Because I think it's going to be tremendous. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to result in a playoff thing, but I'm just saying maybe he might be a little good voice in the locker room from a young quarterback, and maybe, just maybe, we might be getting what we want, and that's playoff football in Chicago, hosting the game, hopefully. But we can't jump. We can't jump too far. I told y'all I'm going to come back down and be even keel. I'm going to be even keel. But hey, let's jump into the mailbag, C-Dub. It's time to get to the best part, our favorite part of these episodes that we be doing. And we're going to kick this thing off the right way from Darius from Dallas.
D-Thing.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas, man. I just wanted to call in because I heard a comment from Colin Cowherd. I normally don't, pay too much attention, particularly to what national media got to say about my football team, because they're normally always wrong. But what he said was, with the latest moves that we've made with the offensive line, with, getting all that done, including what we're going to do in the draft, that he feels like by week 5, we'll know if Caleb is a franchise quarterback or not. And the reason why I wanted to see what y'all thought about that, man, is I feel like there's going to be fans on kind of like both sides of that. And to be quite honest with you, I'm torn on how I should feel about that. Because, last year, we all had expectations, but we all kind of feel like for what he had to deal with, he did pretty good with him having a terrible offensive line, terrible coaching, with what he had to deal with. I think he did a pretty damn good job, and I think most Bears fans would agree. But now when you take away, well, at least we think we took away his biggest issue that he was dealing with, and that was offensive line. And we go back to all the stuff they said before pre-draft about him being a generational talent. All right, if you're a generational talent, now you have a great offensive line. You have a star-studded coaching staff. From Eric Bieniemy running your running back room to Ben Johnson to Dennis Allen to Al Harris. Like, you get, as far as the coaching staff, you don't have that excuse anymore. So do y'all feel like that, man? Like by, let's just say by, week 6 or week 7, we're still not seeing anything. How would y'all feel about Caleb Ben? Also, man, I've been hearing a lot about us potentially drafting Tyler Warren for some fucking reason. I don't know, man. Taking a tight end there, he's got to be like Brock Bowers type prospect, and I just didn't see that out of him. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to go back and look at his tape more, but I just taking a tight end there when we already got one that we have very much underutilized. We don't even know what Cole Kmet can really do just yet, yo. We've seen glimpses of what he can do, but we haven't seen a quarterback constantly throw to him, and we haven't seen an offensive coordinator constantly scheme him open. So we might already have that type of caliber tight end, so it just don't make sense to reach for a guy like that when we ain't even gotten a training camp to see what we can do with Cole yet. And it's just kind of, one of the meatball things that you hear, but it's picking up steam for some reason, and I want to know why the hell people are considering the tight end at number 10. But let me know what y'all think, man. Text us up there now.
All right. Shout out to Darius from Dallas, man. We appreciate the call. C-Dub, what you got for us?
Yeah, that was a great voicemail. Shout out to Darius. First of all, let's get into this a deadline or gatekeeping by Colin Cowherd. I wouldn't put too much into this take from Colin Cowherd. I will entertain it, but it's just being over dramatic about the situation. He's just trying to get clicks with that 5-week shit. Now let's talk about the actual take. Caleb Williams, he needs 5 games to make sure he's a franchise quarterback. It's so fantastical. First of all, we got a new coach, a new offensive coordinator. This is going to be Caleb Williams' 3rd to 4th offensive coordinator. If you want to count the last one with Thomas Brown, I forgot who that guy was, who they made offensive coordinator. That wouldn't be fair for just go through 5 weeks, just barely over a quarter of the season. It's not fair for Caleb Williams. And plus, I think the floor is good. Like where it sounds like Colin Cowherd saying the floor is rookie. No, the floor is 20 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, 6 interceptions. That's the floor. He's already good. He's talking like he's far away from figuring it out. Now we still have to acclimate ourselves with a new coach and a new offensive coordinator. So putting a time on that is just ridiculous. And if Tyler Warren is available, and then we're in a position to take the best player available, I think we should take Tyler Warren. That's just me.
Love what you said there. I just got one question for Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
If it only take 5 weeks for us to know, this is the question. If it only take 5 weeks for us to figure out if he's a franchise quarterback, why the fuck did the NFL world go crazy for Jordan Love at the last 8 weeks when they start glazing him? Not the first 9 weeks, the last 8 weeks of that season 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So look, we was 4-2 last season coming out of London. We thought we knocked the bridge over and was going to be coming back to Chicago to kick some Commanders' ass. Yeah. So don't get me like, and now to your point, C-Dub, it's just crazy to me. We got a new head coach. We got a new system that has to be implemented. We got the anticipation of Ben Johnson pretty much saying that Caleb Williams is going to be under center more when we know last season he was in shotgun more. So there's going to be adjustments that have to be made. Don't tell me we got to know by week 5 if he's a franchise quarterback when the whole NFL world glazed Jordan Love for the last 8 weeks. When I told everybody during those 8 weeks, it was really the last 4 weeks of the season. And this season, we seen a lot of up and down from Jordan Love. So don't give me 5 weeks to determine if this young man can be the quarterback. Did we somehow forget all the damn comeback attempts that he gave Matt Eberflus, and Matt Eberflus was an all-time loser in those games? Did we forget that? So it is what it is. And the last thing about Tyler Warren, look, you said Brock Bowers. Look, I ain't saying he Brock Bowers, but I'm just saying this mofo, he don't want to be tackled.
Nope.
He wants to hit people. It'd be interesting. It wouldn't be my first choice, but if the Bears are going to make that decision, I'm going to trust the process. And to your point, Darius, I do believe, and I still firmly believe more so than other people, Cole Kmet deserves this opportunity with this coach to get it right.
I agree with that. 100%. And you absolutely cooked right there. Tyler Warren and Cole Kmet could be a good combo. 2 tight ends have worked. I know everybody getting scared for Cole Kmet. That doesn't mean that he can't still come out here and perform. This is going to put a little fire in his ass. It's going to make that what is that, the 12 personnel even that much better. So, bro, this is not our problem. This ain't our beef, y'all. This Cole Kmet beef.
You talk about Cole Kmet beef.
Hey, we the Chicago Bear fans, right? I ain't trying to turn my back on Cole Kmet. I'm just saying. We trying to be the best that we could be, right?
Fair enough.
Warren, one of those.
Fair enough. But I appreciate the call, Darius, because we can go on and discuss both topics forever. I ain't gonna lie to you, because that was a hell of a voicemail you left, bro. Appreciate the call, though. C-Dub, it's time to go black yet again. We finna listen to this voicemail from Marifa Asar. Here it is.
Bobby, C-Dub, hey, the Cognac Boys. What's happening, fellas? It's your man, Marifa Asar, black yet again, man. Listen, I was listening, man, to Ben Johnson interviews at the owners' meetings down in Florida, and I said to myself, damn, he was telling the truth, man, about Caleb Williams. He said Caleb has been nothing but a shotgun quarterback his whole entire career in high school and college. And he's going to bring a whole new concept and quarterbacking ideas to Caleb's technique. He got to go from under center now and snap that ball. That means his cadence, his footwork, and everything else that go along with turning his back to the defense and reading it, all of that is going to be changed with Ben Johnson. So when he said he got to break them down to the bare essentials, he wasn't playing. Now, Caleb ain't got no excuses, man. He ain't got no excuses because he got a whole $50 million line that they just bought in the offseason. And I'm pretty sure Poles ain't finished with the draft coming up, putting more pieces on that offensive line to protect Caleb and give him time to turn his back to the defense, then turn around and view the 1, 2, 3 progressions and throw to the wide receiver. Now, he got to learn how to do all that. Now, I've seen a video of Caleb working his footsteps and his footwork in offseason. But it's just like having a brand new baby trying to teach him how to walk for the first time coming out the gate. Now, let's see how athletic Caleb is or good Caleb can be during this transition, okay? So Caleb, he got all the talent around him. He got all the protection in the world in front of him. He ain't got no excuses. He the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He got to have a better season than Jay Daniels did last year. He got to show up. He got brand new coaches, brand new players, brand new protection, and he got everything he wants. He ain't got no excuse. So he got to come out and show out. All right, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I got a place to go, got people to see. But you know what I'm going to say before I leave? Hit the Chicago up and bear down, bear there. FGD. Let's go.
Y'all already know it's always FGB. Always. Marif, I love just about everything you said until the end.
Yep.
I do believe Caleb Williams don't have no excuses but take a step forward. But he does not have to go out there and have a better season than what Jaden Daniels had this past season. That shit is an outlier. That's an anomaly. He literally had 100 passer rating throughout most of the season, and he was on the money in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to say Caleb Williams has to go out there and, you know what I'm saying, have a season better than Jaden Daniels. Me, personally, because the film is out on Jaden Daniels, and what if he takes a step back? So now I just say that Caleb Williams has to take a step forward. What's a step forward to me? Let's have better deep ball accuracy. Pause. Let's be more accurate with passes down the field. I know somebody was going to say pause, so I just said it for him. It is football talk. Y'all know people overreact, but that's what it is. He has to throw the ball down the field with a better accuracy. He has to be good for the first 3 quarters and not just the first quarter. You know, I mean the fourth quarter, because we seen him step up in the fourth quarters and give the Bears chances to win, but we want to see him start games off well. We want to see him be able to adjust. Under Ben Johnson, Jared Goff is one of the best play action quarterbacks. So trust in your coach. And y'all, offseason workout starts this week. So him, Ben Johnson, and the coaching staff get to work this week. So it's going to be more news and stuff coming about that. But I love most of what you said, Marifa. But I can't say Caleb Williams has to go out there and have a Jaden Daniels season. He just has to take a step forward and make sure he can give the Chicago Bears a great chance to win games. And Ben Johnson got to help close the deal by having good situational awareness at the end of games.
Yeah, absolutely. Great take, nephew. Let's talk about this take from my man Marifa Asar. He was cooking. The whole platter was decent. I'm talking about the macaroni and cheese. I'm talking about the turkey, the whatever you want, your ham hocks. But then you get to the potato salad. There's raisins in there, Marifa. Don't you dare put no damn. You gotta be like no damn Jaden Daniels, bro. That's unfair. That's unfair for Caleb Williams. Otherwise, you made valid points. Caleb's support. It's what this offseason and what this next year is about. And they did that to the tune of that $50 million offensive line so far, and an offensive-minded coach that's coming in with a plan, not a concept. You hear me? And I know that everybody want to put these lofty expectations. We gotta show a little patience with Caleb Williams. There is a floor. He was pretty good last season, guys. I don't know why we got to be desperate to have this other world year next year. We cannot put that that mandate for Caleb Williams for next year. It's not fair, and I don't think it's really real. I don't think it's real, bro. Like, we can't do that to the kid. We must be patient and let this kid develop. I don't think we got long, guys. He had 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions last year. And shit, he was coached by shit, and he put up 20 and 6. Relax. I think the kid is going to get it. He's a generational talent. We don't have to mandate when he's going to be right. And I land my plane.
All right. Appreciate the call, Marifa. C-Dub. We about to get into this last one. This last one is from Keys. Here it is.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Keys, man, on this lovely Friday. Hope all is well with you guys. First off, man, before I get into what I want to say, you guys, man, Hayes, all the guys, Bobby, C-Dub, Steve-O, Big Kev, need to see more of your face, Big Kev. I like to hear your intakes on everything, man, but y'all been on fire, bro. And through it all, man, you and Wendy City Breeze with Pat, much love to you guys. But let's get to it. is the draft to me that I just keep looking at, and I'm like, this is the thing to build for the future. You know what I'm saying? And I think for the Bears to succeed, at least this year, now you're not gonna get every piece right, but I think we need to do that trade back unless Will Campbell is just there. You know what I'm saying? Or Will Campbell's there. That's mainly the guy I would want. But if we do the trade back, and we do what we're supposed to do in this draft and build our guys and everything like that. Um, it's two guys actually that I'm looking at that's not being talked about, and I think it's more so to do with their stature, like how they're built. And one of them is Josiah Stewart, defensive end from Michigan, who played along that defensive line with Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, who was a stud. They got the defensive end that's there right now named Dan Moore that's going to probably be a lock for a first or second round pick next year. And Aeneas Peoples from Virginia Tech. Now, the reason why I look like those two guys is, sometimes it's not about having all the measurables, but those guys are both 6'1". Stewart is like 250, and then I know Peoples is around like that 290 mark. But they both dogs, man. And sometimes them gems in the draft be right there for you to get. I think Stewart is being a little overshadowed because they quote unquote say the height. But I did a little comparison myself with Jalen Walker, who's at Georgia, and the stats pretty close. It's just that Walker was a little bit more versatile. But let me know what you guys think, man. As always, shout out up, bear down.
All right. Shout out to my man's Keys. C-Dub, what you got for us?
Hey, shout out to Keys. He said he's really wanting the Bears to go the route of trading back. And that's great because the Chicago Bears actually have many routes due to the work that they done this offseason and positioning themselves to the draft. They have many options at this intersection. So they can go your route and trade back and get more pieces and get more assets. They can stay there and get the best player available. They can trade up if you can even think about that. If they see a guy and they know they can trade up and go get him. When it comes to these small guys in measurables, on a defense, I do not like to cheat. I just do not like to cheat on the measurables. Like that really counts for something. If you want to get a small guy, to me, this is just my opinion. If you want to get a small guy, they have to be extraordinary for me to put them in front of a guy that's 6'5", 260 pounds, or 6'5", 270 pounds coming off that edge. You're gonna have to be extraordinary. I don't think Abdul Carter is that big, right? He's
I
not
think he like 6'2", 6'3", I believe.
he's not gigantic. He's
No.
looking like a more athletic guy. That's more in the realm where, you know what I'm saying, extraordinary guy. You would have to. I don't know about this about the smaller guys. I don't like to play around with the defense because we need the big, strong guys to combat that offense. But that's just me. Maybe nephew, you think differently about that.
I think it's fair. Especially when you talk about defenders, I think that you absolutely need that size, unless, to your point, this player can just absolutely dominate. You know what I mean? Because for one example is a guy that I was looking at this past season in the draft, and Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle out of Michigan, and he went to the Dallas Cowboys, and he's a bit undersized as a DT, and he did not have a good season. Because if you don't have those measurables to kind of make up for your deficiencies, it's tough. But I'm not 100% against it. I think that when you talk about like arm length compared to like a Will Campbell, because Will Campbell, I believe 6'5", 325 pounds or something like that. Now he still got the height and the width. It's just the arms a little shorter than normal. So I think that you got to pick and choose how you going to play that situation. But I'm not mad at it. I think that it all depends on the player, because you could be 6'6", 250, but if you can't bend around a corner on a rush, then what's the point? Is my point. So I think it's a real good thing to try to find other talent out there, but guys still have to prove themselves at the end of the day. That's why I always say, look at the workouts from the combine and pro days, but also marry it with the film. What does the film tell you? And then I think you'll be able to have a good or a better determination about a player.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% correct. But that is his, that's his opinion. He liked these
Oh, yeah.
guys, and we just got probably different opinions from you, big guy. Maybe they are those type of guy. What's this small safety he used to play with the Cardinals? That's another instance. I forgot his name. The small guy from the Cardinals. He used to play with the Cardinals a couple years back.
Yeah, I don't
Small,
know who
somebody, DK chased him down on that 99-yard interception.
I know that wasn't Buda Baker.
Buda Baker, he a small guy, but he extraordinary. His talent is extraordinary. I'm just using him as an example. He's a smallish
My
guy.
nigga named Baker.
Buda Baker. His name is Buda Baker.
Oh,
You're
okay.
right. Buda Baker. He his talent is undeniable, but he's smaller in stature, but he gets things done. He has an impact. That's how good you have to be. Now his stats are okay, but it ain't dominant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to be sure with my defense. That's it. I like my defense to be big, strong, nasty, mean ass people. That's how my defense.
Yeah, because the last point before we go, because shit, how big is Dominique Robinson? A big mofo.
Yeah.
But that mofo can't do nothing with the size. So to your
Yeah.
point, Keys, to the point is, how does the film look versus the measurables? And Ben Johnson said it perfectly. I don't really care about that unless I see an issue, and then I'm diving into the measurables. What's going on with the player? I think that's a great way to look at it. But I love the take that you got, bro. I think those are some good prospects to look at, and we'll see what the Chicago Bears do. But one more point. Don't trade up. It's two options. Stay put or trade back in the first round. That's
why? Tell us why we gonna trade up.
I don't want to waste future draft capital, especially with my mindset of this team is going to be good and there's going to be some departing faces coming in the next few seasons. You need to hold on to some of that capital unless this season right here is so great. Then next year you say we going all in, but not right now. I think it's too premature for me.
Okay.
But hey, we appreciate y'all that made those took the time out to call in to the show, man. We hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Go ahead and leave your feedback, comment, and concerns down in the comment box. If you want to be a part of the mailbag like those three guys were today, call in, state your name, leave your tape for the mailbag. The number to do so is 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears. We're going to catch y'all on that next one for a show. Chi-Town up and bear down. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.